Welcome to the MrUnique Show. I am your boy, Mr. Unique, the big brother, the producer, TV, all of the above. I'm here with y'all tonight, and I'm glad y'all are here with me. We got a very good one for you tonight. Y'all know we in our studies, man, and we've been diving deep, real deep. But before I go any further, y'all know what I gotta do, man. I'll be back. Welcome back to the MrUnique Show. Now, y'all know what we do, man. We got to pay those bills. Shouts out to DBoy Records. Go get it. The brand new from DBoy Records artist Tiffany Renee. Brighter Day. Go get that chart topping. I'm going to wait. Go get that Gino Neville. Dr. Oso. Party after graduation and the brand new one. I had a D, man. DBoy Records. Over there making the feel good music for your soul. Also, shouts out to the international pimp, the international player, and everybody's daddy, Curly of CP Producer. Shouts out to CP. Curly been quiet. I don't know what's going on with Curly. Also, shouts out to Crosscut Lawn and Home Services. Contact Mr. Kenneth Bunny at 901-335-0515. Tell him MrUnique Show sent you, and I promise you he'll hook you up with a really nice discount. Also, man, y'all know we got to give out to SmooveHouseTV. Man, they tell me that SmooveHouseTV is the smoothest place on earth. And you know what? I totally agree. And that's how y'all see us every day. Shouts out, man, to SmooveHouseTV. Oh, gotta give a shout out, man. I'm usually there, but I'm not there tonight. Shouts out to Blacked Out Studios. They say Blacked Out Studios is a place to free your mind. Yep, I agree. It is. Blacked Out Studios, man, the place to free your mind, man. Also, man, we gotta send a shout out, man, to the little brother, the little homie, and the man that's behind the scenes, making me look good and sound good and make sure all my graphics together. Shouts out to the little brother, the little homie, the best friend, the motivational poet. And also, shouts out to the brand new sponsor. Congratulations on motivational poet, man, on the launch of the brand new clothing brand. FML clothing, man. Faith makes living. You know why? Because we walking in faith over here, man. And if you ain't walking in faith, we don't want to have nothing to do with you. Shouts out, man, to the motivational poet. FML clothing, man. So proud of the little brother. Hey, welcome to the MrUnique Show. I am your boy, Mr. Unique. We have a very good one for you tonight. But before we go any further, y'all know, man, I got to go and get myself together. Dr. Oso, party after graduation. And I promise you, we're going to be back and we're going to get this party started.
DBoy exclusive.
Party after graduation, time to get wasted. Ride through the city, shake, go crazy. Party after graduation, time to hit up Vegas. It look like we gon' burn, now we done with crazy. Party after graduation, time to get wasted. Ride through the city, shake, go crazy. Party after graduation, time to hit up Vegas. It look like we gon' purge. Time to cut a little girl, school out. She don't wanna be cupped up, turned out. Don't call, don't text, she getting worked out. Couple shot, time to party after graduation. Big way, surf's up, baby, I'm wasted. She started half naked, I see what she think. Homie trick to try to smash after graduation. Ballin' in the cut, you need
my destination. Might sip up on some dark tonight, bringing up my concentration. 120s, 50s need different combinations. The money coming savage on the only time I'm ready.
School's out for summer. Niggas like me roll up and take shots of tequila. Yeah, I said like that weed up. At a bonfire chillin' cause I'm with some white folk. Came from a block party, turned in the hood, yo. Shut the park down, everything's all good though. After dark now, mommy, we gon' get it in. Tell your friends, meet my friends, it gon' be a long weekend. Hit again, I got some business, me and Mike Pico. Dividends arriving in, signers up, we sign them in, they line it up. Try again, welcome to the middle, man. Party at the graduation, time to get wasted. Ride through the city, shake, go crazy. Party after graduation, time to hit up Vegas. In the land we gon' party, now we done with crazy. Party after graduation, time to get wasted. Ride through the city, shake, go crazy. Party after graduation, time to hit up Vegas. In the land we gon' party.
Okay, bottles on ice and the feeling nice. Smoke in the air and about to catch a flight. And I ain't talking about a plane. Graduate the game, walk across stage when they call my name. Okay, question where the is going and what the is on. Man, you know my plan, let's get the okay, roll out the carpet, let's welcome the graduates. Whatever you need, indulge in your habits. Got a bag of the Grinch, a bag of the witch, light or the dark, getting graduation bent. Man, diploma while we party, sipping on Bacardi. No more late to class or even tardy. Man, getting super ripped, might wake up in the spittle. Kentucky to Tennessee, and welcome to the middle.
Okay, getting super ripped, might wake up in the spittle. Kentucky to Tennessee, welcome to the middle.
Party at the graduation, time to get wasted. Ride through the city, shake, go crazy. Party at the graduation, time to hit up Vegas. In the land we gon' party, now we done with crazy. Party at the graduation, time to get wasted. Ride through the city, shake, go crazy. Party at the graduation, time to hit up Vegas. In the land we gon' purge.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the MrUnique Show. I am your guy, MrUnique. And yeah, we gotta dive on into this thing, man. Y'all know that me and Port, we've been going through a series. We've been going through the Gnostic text. We've been trying to enlighten. I grew growing up in a Christian household, or should I say a religious household. We was always taught to just go by what you're told and don't question God. Don't ask no questions. But I always kind of found that hard to fathom because later on, y'all tell me, and all my getting is to get an understanding. And when I try to get the understanding, y'all tell me that I can't question God. So for a long time, that was something that bothered me. It bothered me. How can I get an understanding on something if I'm not allowed to ask questions? So I'm not allowed to ask questions, but if I go to any other source besides what I've been used to, then I'm going to hell. Now, how does that work? All I get an understanding, but don't question God. Okay, all right. So I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but okay, I guess I had to give it a try. So then we go into the things of the Old Testament. I was like, you know, some things in the Old Testament, I'm like, man, that could not be the same dude that Jesus was talking about. Because the guy in the Old Testament, that man was kind of mean. You know, the guy in the Old Testament, you know, he did some stuff that I really don't agree with. Okay, he did some things that I don't agree with, and so I begged to ask the question. I said, well, just how many people did God kill in the Old Testament? And to my surprise, from the Bible, I said, oh my God. And then I looked at the 10 Satan killed, and I said, well, technically those 10 that Satan killed was more than likely Job's 7 daughters and 3 sons whom God gave permission. So that would technically be on God's hand. Yeah, technically it would. So I got to doing my research, and I got to doing my study, and I got to looking around, and I said, well, I've been raised this whole time. I've read the King James Bible. I don't remember or recall from history class in in middle school, junior high, high school. I don't remember King James. Maybe they talked about him. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't. I don't remember. Don't remember King James in college. So, who was King James? And then when I learned who King James was, I said, wait a minute. That couldn't be right. Then I come across, we find out that the Bible has been rewrote over 6,000 times. Now, I know you got those people that'll say it's given to man by God. Over 6,000 times though. So then we found out that 1,600 years ago, 325 AD, we find out that the Roman Catholic Church decided that about 47 books needed to be taken out of the Bible because it went against everything that they was trying to do, and it went against everything that they stood for. So found out that they took those out the Bible and burnt the books, and anybody who was teaching it was considered heresy, and they were killed. Yeah, they were killed. Not killed, but they were killed. So for me, it brings the question of, what was those books? Well, you find out that those books was the Nag Hammadi library, or the Gnostic text. And now you get to reading the Gnostic text and you find out, wait a minute. I see why the Roman Catholic Church did not want this in the Bible, because if this was in the Bible, it would totally kill religion. We read in the book of one of the Gnostic books, the book of Judas, we learned that Jesus was walking up to the disciples one day and started laughing at them because he told them, because they were praying. And the disciples said, Master, what you laughing at us for? We doing the same thing. We doing what's right. And Jesus told them, no. Y'all doing this because your God can get praise through this. Your God? They said, well, God, Jesus, ain't we on the same team? He said, no, we ain't on the same team. We're not on the same team. Because you cannot tell me that you find things in the Old Testament that just was not kosher. And then you go through the stories and you through the history and you find out that you're told that Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed because of wickedness. But do you want to know what the real wickedness was? The reason why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed was because they did not want to pray to Yahweh. That's why. That was their sin. That was their evil sin. They did not want to pray to Yahweh or Jehovah. So you have to understand that back in those times when Moses did the contract with Yahweh, Jehovah, when he did the contract, every culture up until Moses were a polytheist religion, meaning they served more than one God. That was so unusual about what Moses was doing, because everybody in all other cultures was serving multiple gods, but Moses said we're going to only serve one God. And then we read the story where that God told Joshua when he went to Canaan, he said, man, tell them folks that they're going to be your slave. Josh said, well, I don't know them. He said, I know you don't know them, but they don't know you, but go in there, tell them they're going to be your slave. If they don't be your slave, kill everybody. And if they got a virgin daughter, you can rape them. If you get caught, then pay a dead daddy 50 shekels of silver. If you don't believe me, go read Deuteronomy 22 and 28. Start the 28th verse. That is the story of Joshua going to take over Canaan. So in that studies, it brought us to the book of John, the secret book of John. Now, we do know about John. We got 1 John, 2 John, 3 John. And we do know that John had a vision. But what was John's vision? The Bible never told us. But aren't y'all glad y'all got Mr. Unique? Because he is going to tell you what the dream was from the Gnostic book from the Nag Hammadi library, the Secret Book of John. It says, as the name implies, the Secret Book of John was intended to be a supplement to the Gospel of John that conveyed the deeper spiritual meaning and context of John. It was written and used by the group of Gnostics that modern scholars refer to as the classic Gnostics or the Sethians. The Secret Book of John holds the knowledge of the origins of the universe and the human condition is essential for spiritual salvation, and so recounts the origins with intent of thereby facilitating the salvation of its readers. Christ appears in a vision to his distraught apostle John and reveals the secret about the cosmos and salvation in order to comfort him and point him toward the right path. First, Christ says there was only God, the one, who is described in mysterious, even deliberately contradictory ways, so as to underscore the point that he cannot, or to underscore the point that he can't be adequately described in human language. A series of beings arise from God to populate heaven, which the text called fools. The first is Barbilio, whom the Secret Book of John identifies with the Holy Spirit and the divine mother of Christ. So it says, this is what the Savior taught and the mysteries that he disclosed, things that are shrouded in silence, but which he uncovered for his disciple John. Now, the thing about the Gnostic books are, what gives the Gnostic books credibility is, for one, they have not been corrupted by man's hand. They have not been distorted, but since they've been put in the caves that they were found in, since they've been put in there, they have not been touched by man's hands and have not been touched by man's hands since. What you get and what you read is what you get. You will learn that a lot of stories in the Bible did not happen. Did not happen. The story of the woman who was caught in the act of adultery, do your homework, that story was not in, I repeat, if you don't believe me, do your own research. The story about the woman who was caught in the act of adultery, and Jesus, they wanted to stone, and Jesus said, "Whichever one of y'all without sin cast the first stone." What if I told you that story was not in the original text? Because it wasn't. It was not. It was not. So if it wasn't in the original text, why is it in the Bible? Who knows? It says, John, the son of Zebedee and the brother of James, went to the temple one day. A Pharisee named Aramaeus walked up to him and asked him, "Where is the teacher whom you used to follow?" John replied, "He has gone back to the place from which he came." The Pharisee said to me, "The Nazarene has plugged your ears with his eyes, closed your mind, and turned your back on the ways of the ancestors." What are the ways of the ancestors? I'll tell you what it is. The Old Testament. Jesus was well versed in the Old Testament. He was. We find out through the Nag Hammadi library, the Gnostic text, that we now know what Jesus was doing between the ages of 12 and 33. Well, Mr. Unique, what was Jesus doing? He was at the mystery schools in India and in Egypt. He was learning about ancient Egyptian civilization. What y'all fail to realize is Jesus was a scholar. He studied the Old Testament. Why else would Aramaeus say to John, "The Nazarene has plugged your ears with lies, closed your mind, and turned your back on the ways of your ancestors"? Because Jesus did not. I repeat, Jesus did not do things that were done in the Old Testament. Okay? Also keep in mind that a lot of things are lost in translation. Okay? A lot of things are lost in translation. The Pharisee said to me, when I heard this, I left the temple and fled to a mountain in the desert. I was filled with the distress and How was David chosen? Was he sent into this world by his Father? Who is the Father who sent him? What is the eternal realm to which we will go? Why did the Savior say that the eternal realm is molded on the incorruptible spirit, yet he did not tell us what the spirit is like? Jesus, when he came, he messed up everybody's way of thinking. It's what he did. Because Jesus was trying to get you to know the God that's on the inside of you. That's why he said God is within you. So, if God is within me, what I must do is find out how to get to know the divinity that's inside of me. I got to know how to do that. In religion, they tell me that I got to go find God. How can I find somebody that is everywhere but cannot be seen? Jesus was telling us. And he told them, and it messed them up so much that John didn't even know what to do. So Jesus had to come to him. He said, as I thought about these questions, the sky suddenly opened, and everything around me glowed and shook. And standing before me, surrounded by the light, was a boy. But as soon as I saw him, he became an elderly man. And then he became a youth. It was not that there were several people standing before me, but one person with several forms. Each of the three forms could be seen within the other. Basically, it was like John was looking at a hologram. He looked one way, he saw it this way. He looked another way, he saw that. He looked another way, he saw that. John didn't know what was going on. It said, this person said to me, John, John, why do you doubt? And why are you afraid? Do you know who I am? Do not be afraid. I am the one who is with you always. I am the Father, I am the Mother, I am the Son. I am the one who is without any corruption or defilement. Now I have come to you to teach you about what is, what was, and what will be, so that you may understand what is visible and what is invisible, so that you may know about the unshakable race and the perfect man. Lift up your head and listen to what I have to say to you today. Then go and tell my words to your spiritual kin, those who are from the unshakable race of the perfect man, so that they too might know these things. He said your spiritual kin, not your religious kin. So that means my spiritual kin, that means it's something different then. He said spiritual kin, not religious kin. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? We're going to get back into it. It's the MrUnique Show. Tiffany Renee, Brighter Day. I'll be back.
Renee, and you're listening to Smooth House Radio.
People are
welcome, welcome back to the show. I don't know why technology decides it wants to act up with me all the time, but I just don't know why technology wants to act up with me all the time. But it sure decides it wants to act up with me. But that's what happens when you start getting the truth out there and they don't want you to be out there. Welcome back to the MrUnique Show. And we got a good one, man. We in it. We're in the secret John. Have we been told the whole truth? Have we? Nope, we have not. We have been deceived. We have been manipulated. Or in the words of Mr. Brown, we've been manipulated. Yes, we have. Yes, we have. If you believe, how is it that we can believe that Jesus died? We believe he healed the sick. We believe he raised the dead. We can believe that he made the lame walk, the blind to see. We can believe all of that. Well, how is it that we cannot believe that maybe, just maybe, Jesus did have conversations maybe other books did not catch? And I'm going to tell you why we say that. Because the reason why we say that, because these books in the Nag Hammadi library, they coincide with Bible stories. They coincide with Bible stories. The only thing is that the Bible stories, it picks up. It's a continuation of the Bible story. Same stories. It's just like this. It's as if what's a nice way to do it? It's as if Jesus. Okay, we got a conversation going on, and you leave and I stay. Quite naturally, I am going to hear things that you did not hear. So I'm gonna have the same story, but my story may actually go a little bit farther because I stayed a little bit longer than you did. So we're in the secret book of John, and it says, Jesus now is explaining to John what's going on, the secrets. It said, then he began to teach me, saying, the one has all power. Nothing rules over it. It is God, and it is apparent. The Father of the fullness, in Greek is pleroma. It presides over the fullness, the spotless light that no eyes can see. It is the invisible spirit. To call it a God, lowercase g, or to say that it is like a God, lowercase g, is not fitting. For it transcends every God. Nothing is above it or greater than it. Nothing that is inferior to it can contain it, for it contains everything within itself. It is eternally self-sufficient. It is perfect fullness, and it has never lacked anything that would make it more complete. It is utter light. Nothing is inside of this, the one. If you find nothing, you're going to find nothing inside him. If you find everything is inside of him. Ain't nothing, what is really not him is a it. Because that's what Jesus even said, it. Because it's mother and his father and his Holy Spirit. No, well, no, it's not, Mr. Unique. Okay, all right, well, let me say it like this. How many times you've heard them say, he's my mother when I'm motherless, and he's my father when I'm fatherless? Now I'm sitting here telling you, that it's exactly what it is, but it's bigger than that. You're going to tell me that I'm wrong? You're going to tell me I'm lying? You're going to tell me it's not right? You're going to tell me this is blasphemy? You're going to tell me, but the book that you are reading is wrote by a man who did not believe that you had the right, the power to go to God for yourself. he was called the dumbest or the wisest fool in Christendom. And he wasn't even a Christian. But yet, we sit behind that sacred desk every Sunday and we read out that Bible. King James Version. Jesus said, "Is anything light, holy and pure? Its perfection cannot be uttered or corrupted, yet it is just not perfection, blessed or divinity." Jesus saying that, man, look, he's saying to call it all of these things is not enough. Those words does not even describe or begin to describe who the one really is. It does not begin to describe what it stands for, because is nothing that can compare to it. It's nothing that's bigger than it. It's nothing that's outside it, because nothing can contain it. This universe that we are in, these galaxies and all these solar systems, all of that is in it. All of that is a part of the divine mind. That's what it is. It's the divine mind. Oh, you go there. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. God. We talk about God. When we talk about God, we think of grace and mercy. We think of long suffering. We think of goodness. We think of things of that nature. Read that one. That's a story in the Bible that has always bothered me as a child, because I thought that was so cruel. What's going on? Abraham and Sarah was barren. They didn't have no kids. They had no children. And then finally, in both of their old age, an angel came to them and told them and said, "Hey, I know y'all are 192 years old, but I'm finna bless you with a baby." They both get excited, and lo and behold, here comes Isaac. Isaac grows up. Isaac is now about 16 or 17 years old. And God comes to him and said, "Hey, Abraham, take your son, your only son, the one you love, Isaac, go to the region of Moriah, sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you." Okay, first of all, God, I don't believe that a good God, gracious and long-suffering and mercy, would tell anybody to do that, because he know how much pain just the thought of that would cause. Abraham fought for it, but eventually Abraham said, "All right, whatever. Come on, Isaac." He grabbed two servants and he said, "All right, y'all, let's roll." They get to the spot where they got to go. Abraham lied. Abraham tells a bald-faced lie. He tells the servants, "Stay here while me and the boy go pray." No, y'all ain't finna go pray. No, they ain't finna go pray. You finna go up there and blood sacrifice that boy to God. That's what you finna go do. So Abraham and Isaac get to walking, and I can see Isaac looking around and saying, "Hey, Pop, I see the wood, I see rope, I see you got the knife, got the kindling. Hey, Pop, where the lamb at?" "Oh, don't worry about it. God gonna provide." He lied. "No, you finna provide your own son." I can see Isaac, because Abraham was an old man. Isaac was a young, strapping young man. I can see Isaac putting that altar together. I can see Isaac putting that altar together. And all of a sudden, his daddy grabs him, bounds him up, throws him on the altar, draws out the knife, and is getting ready to kill his son. But he didn't, because the angel told him there was a ram in the bush. This is where we get the ram in the bush from. So let me ask this. Oh, excuse me, that's been a long day. I'm sorry. Let me ask you this. If God told you right now to go outside and pull a bullet in your baby head, would you do it? Would you? Would you go out there if God told you to put a bullet in your baby head? Would you go out there and do it? I'm going to tell you what we would say if somebody was to say God told them to go put a bullet in a baby head. We would say, oh no, that person right there is full of the devil. That's just what we would say. That's what we'll say. That person full of the devil. I can't remember the lady's name, but it was a national case where I think she drowned like all 4 of her kids. And the reason why she drowned all 4 of her kids was because she said God told her. She said God told her to kill those kids. We told that lady she was lying. Well, according to the Old Testament, she wasn't. Because he told Abraham to do the same thing. God would do that. I don't believe a good God would do that because he knows what type of pain it was. Hannibal Lecter got a famous saying. He said, killing must feel good to God too. He does it all the time. And are we not created in his image? Y'all told me the devil came to steal, kill, and destroy. But God got over 2 million kills of the Old Testament. Over 2 million kills. Why do you think Jesus had to go down to hell to preach to the souls? You want me to tell you why? Because he had to get them down from down there, because that's where they went with the creator, the evil God. Why would God send, if that was God, the top dog, why would he send them to hell and then send Jesus down there to go get them? That makes no sense. If you go back and you look at it, the one in the Old Testament had a lot of oops, my bad moments. A whole bunch of them. What's going on? Because somebody got to say something. Because this bull right here, whoo, man. I'll tell you the truth. It's the MrUnique Show. I promise you. I'll be back.
I'm MrUnique beat. Why not?
welcome back to the show. Y'all know what we gotta do, man. We gotta pay those bills. Got to pay the bills. Shouts out to DBoy Records. Y'all go get the brand new one. DBoy Records artist Tiffany Renee Bright today. Available now on all major streaming platforms. The iHeart app, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Pandora, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. All music, all DBoy Records artist music is everywhere. Also, go get that I'm Going to Wait. Dr. Oso, Party After Graduation. I Had a Dig. Still, Never. DBoy Records. Making that feel good music for the soul over there. Also, shouts out to Cross Country Home Services. Contact Mr. Kenneth Buddy at 901-335-0515. Tell me Mr. Unique Show sent you. I promise you. We got a nice discount for you. Shouts out to the international pimp, the international player, and everybody's daddy, Mr. Curly P of CP Productions. Shouts out, man, to Mr. Curly P. Also, gotta give a shouts out to SmooveHouseTV, man. They tell me that SmooveHouseTV is the smoothest place on earth. I agree. How y'all think y'all see us, man? Every day. That's how y'all see us. Also, gotta give a shout out to Blackout Studios. They say Blackout Studios is the place to free your mind. You know what? I agree. I'm usually there at Blackout Studios. I'm not there tonight. I probably should be in. Probably wouldn't have had so many technical difficulties. That's what I get for trying to change things up. Shouts out to Blackout Studios, man. The place to free your mind. Also, man, shouts out to yours truly, MrUnique ThaProducer. MrUnique Beat. As Jelly Bean say, MrUnique Beat. Why? Also, man, shouts out to the man that's behind the scenes tonight, making sure that I look good, making sure I sound good, making sure I got my stuff all together. Shouts out to the little brother, the little homie, the best friend, man, the motivational poet, man. Shouts out to motivational poet, man, doing this thing over there, man. Shouts out to you, little brother. Very proud of you, my guy. Also, gotta give a shout out to the brand new sponsor and the brand new brand, man. Shouts out to the motivational poet for launching FML clothing. Faith makes living. You know why? Because we walking in faith over here. And if you ain't walking in faith, we don't want to have nothing to do with you. Shouts out, man, to the little brother motivational poet, man, and the brand new brand FML clothing available real soon everywhere. Hey, I am back. What we doing? We jumping into it. We in the secret book of John. We have been in our series of the Gnostic texts. We have been doing a some enlightening. Growing up in a Christian household, if I'm gonna serve God, I want to serve God the right way. I don't want to serve God the way that I've been told. Because let me tell y'all a secret. This is a secret. Don't tell nobody. Let me tell you a secret. Just because you've been doing something a long time does not mean it's right. It does not mean it's right. Just because you've been doing it a long time, and in this case, 60 years, that does not make it right. Jesus told the disciples that when you hear it, it's going to mess your mind up because it's going to literally go against everything that you believe. The Bible is not the only thing that's out there. The Bible was actually inspired by many other books. The Bible was inspired by books that was written 30,000 years before the Genesis account. I can remember when I was reading the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. And in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, for a minute, I had to pay attention to what I was looking at because, or what I was reading, because It sounded a lot like the New Testament. But then I find out that the reason it sounds like the New Testament, because Jesus went and he studied those different texts. Jesus went out and he studied those the Egyptian Book of the Dead. He read it. The Bhagavad Gita. He read it. He read these books and he read these other texts to get understanding. Have you ever thought, and I know I have you ever thought, out of all the religions that's in the world, how do I know I'm doing it right? How do I know that? How do I know that what I'm doing is the right thing to do? You know what? I'm gonna tell you what that's called. It's called self-preservation. I'm doing it just in case. But how much sense would it make how much sense does it make to live here on earth and go through hell on a possibility? On a possibility. Because he say what you bind on earth is going to be bound in heaven. So you mean to tell me the only way that I can enjoy life is after I die? But that's not life. That's death. How can I enjoy life then? What am I allowed to do that won't send me to hell? But do I really have free will? Because this is what it is. Watch this. You have free will, but if you don't serve me, you're going to hell. That doesn't sound like free will to me. That sounds like a dictator. Have you ever noticed? And again, me and Poet does not speak nothing on this platform. Shout out YouTube, like, share, comment, subscribe. Twitch, we see you. Much love, Twitch. Much love to you, Twitch. LinkedIn, we see you. To Facebook, we need those hearts, man. Come on now. But how is it? Have you noticed? And again, I say this because me and Poet used to be this guy. Have you noticed that the moment you start to talk to the religious people, those, have you noticed that when you start talking to those people and start asking questions about the Bible, they get hot, fighting mad? Why is that? Maybe it's because they are carrying the attitude of their God. The Bible says, with love and kindness have I drawn thee. And see, a lot of times when you get to speaking, they want to give you the script. I remember one time I asked the guy, I said, what is God to you? What is God to you? Now, me and Paul have not said we do not believe in God. Do not put that out there. What we've said is the God of the Old Testament, we don't fuck with him. Because there's no way that you can tell me that this is a good, merciful, gracious God. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. When God is majesty and total purity, he's goodness. All of that. And even those things are not even enough to describe who and how and what he is. And I'm saying he, but it's really not he. I'm just saying he. So, how is it that when you mention something to the religious people about that Bible, they ready to fight now? And I asked the guy, I said, man, what is God to you? He said, I'm sorry, y'all, it's been a long day. He said, He's Jehovah Jireh. He's I don't want to know all of that. I know the script. What is God to you? He my Jehovah Jireh. He my load carrier. My birth. Wait a minute. I don't want the script. I want to know, what is God to you? What's God? Well, I'm trying to tell you what he is to me. Now you're giving me a script that you've been programmed. He said, all right, well, what's God to you? I said, God to me is that piece of you that even doctors don't understand. What do I mean? The piece of you that God, that's God, is that spark that's on the inside of us. We have a voltage of electricity running through our body. Okay? How else? The first thing that happens when you go into cardiac arrest is they yell clear, and they hit you with the defibrillator, which is bolts of electricity to shock your heart and get it back to pumping. So that spark, that electricity that you'll hear doctors say, we have no idea how the human body has electricity in it. Too much of it can kill you. Too much of it can bring you back, can save your life. That's God. Because God is beyond everything. Once you get, Jesus kept telling us that the kingdom of heaven is within us. He said, if anybody tell you that the kingdom of heaven, he said, if anybody tell you that the kingdom of heaven is in the sky, he said, then the birds gonna get there before you. He said, if they tell you that the kingdom of God is in the water, then the fish will get there before you. He said, but rather the kingdom of God is in you and all around you. All of us are nothing but fragments of the divine mind. We are nothing but pieces of the divine mind. How do I get in touch with that divine mind? Jesus told us how. Through meditation. If I get to know God that's on the inside of me, I get to know myself. That's how. Then there would be no sin. Why? Because I wouldn't want to sin against myself or my brother. That's what the Gnostics believe. Answer me this. We say that Jesus came and Jesus died for my sins. Okay, I can rock with that. So why I got to go repent? If Jesus already died for me. If Jesus already died for sin, wouldn't that mean that sin no longer exists? Well, yeah, that's what that would mean, because Jesus died for my sins. So because Jesus died for my sins and Jesus paid it all, there should be no sin, but yet we still have sin. But now when you talk like that, they say, oh no, mm-mm. You, my friend, are letting the devil use you. Am I? Because I'm asking you questions that make sense, because I want to live for God the right way. Wouldn't it be sad to do all of that and still in death don't have no peace? This is where heaven and hell comes from. Jesus told the disciples, he said that once you get to know yourself, you will never die. That's what he said. He said, once you get to know yourself, he said, those who know themselves truly never dies. Why? Because when you go into your meditation and you go into that the other realm of consciousness. When you open up the other eye, when you go into a realm of different conscious or of another conscious, anybody will tell you, me included, that when you meditate, your consciousness, it goes somewhere else. Where does it go? It goes back. So Jesus was saying that if you get to know yourself, you will never truly die, because your consciousness is just going to go back to somewhere that you visited plenty of times in your meditations. But if you don't get to know you on the inside, and when your consciousness goes back to where it goes, well, for you, it would be hell, because you have no idea where you are. But if your consciousness has already been there, you've done it through meditation, the only thing you would say is, oh, I'm home. But that's heaven. And for those of y'all who didn't know it, that was hell. How is it? Do y'all, God gonna really set us up to go to hell though? So let's just real fast, the oops, my bad that God made it. Y'all tell me that's a God? That's God? You knew Lucifer was going to rebel, and you knew a third of heaven was going to get kicked out with you. But yet and still, you made Lucifer. Well, that's not fair to Lucifer. You knew Adam was going to eat. First of all, you tempted him and told him, I know this is the finest tree in here, and I don't want you to eat from it, though. You tempted him. But then you think about it. Why wouldn't God want me to have knowledge? Okay, well, I ain't gonna worry about the knowledge. But then if I go on down later in the New Testament, he told me that I perish for the lack of knowledge. Well, I don't have no knowledge because you told me not to eat from the tree of knowledge. Contradictory. All this is Bible. Just saying. It's got to make sense. Somebody make it make sense. That's all I'm saying, man. Somebody has to make this make sense. I don't know. We'll find out. Tomorrow is Freestyle Friday. And what we're going to do on Freestyle Friday, we have no idea. None whatsoever. But we can tell you it's going to be a darn good time. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that he's going to enjoy the show. I can tell you that. YouTube, like, share, comment, subscribe. Twitch, man, much love to y'all over there at Twitch, man. I see y'all, man. All 98.5 of y'all. I see y'all, man. Much love Twitch, man. We're going to do something special for y'all. Facebook, we see you. What them hearts at? LinkedIn, much love to you, LinkedIn. Man, look, we just giving it to you like it is. That's all. That's all we're doing. We just giving it to you like it is. If you get mad, do your research and prove us wrong. Until tomorrow, I'm your guy, MrUnique. I love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Man, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night.
Yeah.
Press to the max.
Yeah.
What the fuck I do?
It's also you bastards.
Ain't from where I'm from.
And I had to dig.
I had to dig too.
And I had to dig.
Straight out the trenches.
And I had to dig.
Made for the struggle.
And I had to dig. And I had to dig. I was way at the bottom. I made it look easy. And I had to dig. Threw dirt on my name. Went deep in the mud. Nothing gonna be safe around me. Nobody Lord, they chase a clout. Say you got hands and I ain't out. Headed to the top straight forward. And I had to climb. And I had to dig. I was way at the bottom. I made it look easy. And I had to dig. Threw dirt on my name. Went deep in the mud. Nothing gonna be safe around me. Nobody Lord, they chase a clout. Say you got hands and I ain't out. Headed to the top straight forward. But I had to climb. And I had to dig. Life so heartless, I feel like a target. Way too many losses, pray I make up in the morning. Reaching at the stars, pour some blessings on me. Life so heartless, I feel like I'm haunted. I'm trying my best and no time to rest. I climb every mountain and pass their test. Too many good die young. I see the crooked lies when they come. Do many crooked lives and these crooked lines where I smoke swerve. I am that guy, I can't complain, I juggle accordingly. America, America. Flood out the city, new virus imported. No medical help, they cut down the jobs. Too many villains in my community. Trying to sell dope, but jump out and rob. That's how they did me with no second chance. Sure, so you eat or you starve. You eat or you starve. And I had to